Fearless Disease.
Fox News alert, Fox News Digital just obtained an exclusive copy of President Trump's personal schedule. It shows he worked for roughly 10 hours per day since December 1st, averaging around 21 separate meetings, calls, or events each day. Some days he even packed over 30 events. Busy schedule. That news coming as President Trump is slamming the New York Times for these headlines, saying that he's showing signs of fatigue and sleeping during cabinet meetings. He wrote in part, quote, "The New York Times and some others like to pretend that I am slowing up and maybe not as sharp as I once was or am in poor physical health, knowing that it is not true. The New York Times and others consistently do fake reports in order to libel and demean the President of the United States." New York Times responded back, saying they won't be deterred from writing about his health. I wonder what deterred them from writing in full about Biden's health. CNN was quick to jump all over this.
That is very true. Fearless Disease fam, today we expose the truth they hate to hear. Like right now, if you are ready. Awesome description. As a president, you are very busy, especially when it comes to Mr. Trump. He has been putting a lot of things into place, guidelines, right, executive orders, and they say he's working at least 10 hours per week with double-digit meetings during the day. I mean, he's getting a lot accomplished. But now, all of a sudden, they're talking about his health because he takes a few naps every once in a while. As a 70-plus-year-old man, I mean, he's the 20-year-old and 30-year-old man will take naps after a 10-hour shift throughout the day. But now they're talking about him and his health declining because he gets a little tired from his busy schedule. But of course, let's see what CNN has to say about it.
There are multiple videos of him appearing to nod off or at least close his eyes for rather long periods of time during some recent public appearances. This president, who certainly can appear very vigorous at times and seems to be up often during the night on social media, is chafing when people notice he does not seem to be able to keep his eyes open.
Really, Anderson? Well, don't you remember when Carl Bernstein told you this about President Biden?
People I've talked to have all been to Ron Klain in the last year to say we have a problem. We have a problem such as we saw the other night, that there have been numerous instances where the president has lost his train of thought, can't pick it up again. There was a fundraiser at which he started at the podium and then he became very stiff, according to the people there, as if it were almost a kind of rigor mortis.
And over at MS Now, they're claiming
there's a big difference between Biden not being able to pick up where he stopped off when he does a pause during a speech and not having his thoughts together and actually looking like he's going to fall out on the podium, to a man working 10 plus hours, multiple meetings, multiple engagements, getting paperwork done, actually being a very productive president and actually maybe taking a nap and slipping off after working 10 plus hours. I mean, it's a big difference, right?
I mean, President Trump's age is somehow a national security threat?
I have a national security concern that the president is sleeping all his freaking meetings. Who is running the country?
First off, I don't listen to a lot of women that are bald-headed. I just don't. A lot of women that are bald-headed, I don't pay attention to them. If they have a fade, lower hair than me, I mean, they're not really that bright. I'm sorry. Put in opinions, put it in the chat what you guys think in the comment section, but I think they're a little slow. I don't listen to nothing she says.
Why can't the president stay awake? What is really these are the questions we have to ask.
He can't stay awake because he's working 10 plus hours. He gets sleepy. He's a human. Duh. Don't you get sleepy after 10 plus hours of work? You want to keep on going like a robot?
Why are you so damn tired?
Sleepy dog.
What is going on, Mr. President? Are you okay?
Now, I could talk about all the wars President Trump has ended, and as you can see, he's ended a lot. But Simone, I have to ask, weren't you in the Biden-Harris White House? Did you ask why Biden skipped a G7 meeting to, quote, go to bed? Were you this concerned when Biden stopped scheduling events after 8 p.m. because he needed more sleep? I guess no national security threats happen after 8 p.m. Or maybe you didn't know any of this. How would you when White House officials like Ian Sams only saw Biden twice in 2 years? Reporter Olivia Nuzzi knew this, though. She wrote this back in 2024, saying there was a conspiracy of silence to protect Joe Biden. Adding reporters debated how dead he looked as they settled on about 40%. But wait, they never reported that. Joining me now, former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. Speaker McCarthy, we both have worked in and around President Trump. I was in meetings with him. The man works 20 calls. That seems lowballing it to me. And then you contrast that with President Biden, who I've never seen, but you've seen up front. I mean, I can't believe the media is trying to pull this.
This is the biggest joke I've ever heard. I will tell you, you take somebody half the age of President Trump, and they would not be able to keep up with him.
At all.
He is unbelievable. I have gone where we will work during the day, fly across the country, do more work, and come back, and he'd still be working the phones. You may show that he has 30 meetings during the day. They don't show how much he'll work the phones at night. 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night he's calling people and working. He has done more in 1 week than Biden would do in his entire 4 years. When I would go and meet with President Biden, it was amazing. Nobody was in the Oval Office. Nothing was happening. It was so quiet. It was eerie. And I remember President Biden calling me saying, I'm going to come home. I want to meet tomorrow, but I need to sleep. Can it be later in the afternoon? And you would never hear that from Trump. President Trump would call you and say, bring people down right now, less work. And you'd be in the Oval Office late into the night, and he'd go work some more.
Yeah, his guest would be snoozing in the Oval, not the president, because we're all trying to get a little rest. It's hard to keep up with Trump. I do want to ask you about this. You know, of course, you're from California, and there's redistricting that has gone on there. And there's this Politico headline that resurfaced this week. Massacred, or I should say a new headline, the California GOP hits a new low. First, a Democratic gerrymander pushed California House Republicans to the brink of extinction. Now they're fighting each other for the scraps. We know Gavin Newsom redrew the map, so they're California Dems essentially picking up 5 more seats. I mean, are the Republicans in shambles over there? What's going on?
I don't think so.
Well, the difficulty is, if you go across the nation, where do the most Republicans live? Not in Texas, not in Florida, but in California. What Gavin Newsom did is he went against the Constitution because the people of California voted by 61% to have a commission where they want competitive lines. And remember this, when Nancy...
It's very true. We won't get into that topic, but Newsom is doing a horrible job over there in California. But let's getting back to thinking that we have a sleepy Trump when we 100% had a sleepy Joe Biden. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because this is a funny one that they keep on complaining that Mr. Trump is getting sleepy because he's not doing anything. He has health problems, but no, he's just a regular man that works hard, 10 plus hours a day. Like you say, he's always on the phone. He's doing what he has to do as a president. So much done within the year that Biden would dream of doing in 4 years. Smash the like, tap the next video on the screen, subscribe, hit that bell. Cash App is always in the description. Fearless Disease if you are supporting the movement. See you on the next one. Stay rich and stay fearless.